So let's talk a little bit about deception. And the thing is, my topics, if you watch my vlogs of this vlog for the first time, you see my smug, my face for the first time. I'm talking about a lot of stuff to think about to improve your life, especially when it's about communication with people in the most humane way possible. And there, of course, everybody has their own view on life, but there is, I do believe, over the years, over decades, collecting all kind of meetings and memories and a lot of ventures, projects, I can say there is some sort of common sense rule. And the closer you get to that point of reality, you know, where you stand in life, where other people are actually mentally, are they a little bit mentally stable, etc., etc. So, but anyway, today I want to talk about deception. And this is the thing. How do I get constantly on those topics? Well, like I said, I'm meeting constantly people every single day. There's not one day that I take off. You know, I put in the disciplines. Not only this, when it's about meeting people, there are also a lot of people that want to meet me, and they simply come up with very weird workarounds. And there are multiple ways to do this, because yeah, if you really want, you can reach me through a lot of platforms and I don't know what. But the way people sometimes do it, they already broke any kind of possibility of a so-called relationship based upon trust. So yesterday, and this guy, and if you're watching this, you know, there is something wrong with the approach. So I listed a camera on Facebook Marketplace. First multiple questions, and then a request for a phone call. And that's already weird, but you know what, I'm always open for a lot of stuff. And then he actually started, you know, okay, this guy was a young guy, so he doesn't understand a lot of stuff, but he started straight away. Hey, some people follow a protocol, so it's not, you know, people like me, we when something doesn't feel humane, and there's something off, you know that they want something. And there are ways to do it in the humane way, and there's some things to do according to a script, and you don't even listen or even put attention to real detail of the other person. So this person, he started with my profile picture and said something about training. I didn't even listen to it because I already knew from the moment that he started, yeah, I saw you do the handstand on your profile picture, you know, very typical protocol following scripts. Not that he read from a script, but he just, you know, maybe saw a little bit of heard something, because he worked also for a company, he said, you know, so he has already the 9-to-5 thing, and then he had some traditional business models that he wanted to get in. But the thing is, the way he actually reached out to me, pretty okay. A lot of people would say, yeah, but Alan, that is a way that a lot of normal people would do it. Yes, that is all great, but when you do it the way normal people would do it, a little bit deception here and there. Where is the deception? Well, if you contact somebody through a marketplace and then try to get him on board to list their products on, because you want to start an e-commerce site, listing other people, their products, and sourcing them through marketplace, it would have been way much better, you know, to say up front, straight away, not asking what model it is, because it was in the product description. I already thought that was weird, you know, because in my GoPro 4K camera, that is actually this camera, because I'm going to switch to the phone. Only everything is then 100% from the phone, because, you know, I'm doing everything from the phone and only recording the vlogs. I'm doing, still using this camera, but I want to sell it, and that's it. Then pretty much everything is from the phone, done and run from the phone. Any kind of projects that are running, any kind of communication with only one single phone. Is that possible? Yes, it is possible. because I live that life, and it's a life of freedom. And it came with a big price. I paid the price. But anyway, about this guy, deceptive, and any kind of, because he also want to meet next week or whatever. The thing is, that's also a day. At least he asked, you know, what time can I call you? Or can I call you? I said this and this time. At least he called right on the minute. Actually, that was, I have to give it to him like this. But you know, then the script started instead of, you know, being straightforward. You know, for example, in his case, I would reach out and say I'm reaching out to people who have things on the marketplace, and I just want to resell your products. Can we have a phone call? It would be a little bit of different story, because now he actually asked me about the model, which is in the product description. He also asked some other things, but I don't exactly remember. But you know, things were off. And what I always tell people, when things feel off, it is off. And something is not right. Listen to your gut. I think that is also one of those things. And let's talk about another situation. And like I said, this marketplace guy, where he wants to source things, better be straight up. If you're watching this, just say it up front, so you don't waste other people's time. And there's another thing. What is the benefit? Because I talked yesterday with somebody that I trust about this. And because I'm never emotional attached to any kind of stuff, but I want to give people the response that they deserve, but also without disrespecting them. I also keep a lot of things in mind. You know, he's only 19, you know, and probably took it easy. I took a very quick look at his Facebook stuff. You know, you can see, you know, there's another thing what I thought about. If you have to tell people in a conversation that you train, then you already don't train hard enough. And let's also make this statement, this thought very clear, right? If you have to tell the world that you train, and so for example, when I'm in front of people, people can see it, and I'm not bragging over here, and but I'm also not telling anybody. I don't have to tell anybody. But this, especially when people start bragging about stuff, you know, you can see everything. You can see the legs. Are they putting in the runs? Are they doing any kind of weight training or whatever? You can always see it if they put in the real work. Anyway, that's a little bit a sub thing. If you have to tell the world, or at least on the spot, something that somebody didn't ask for, you know, because a lot of people who come to me, they just have to talk all about how many reps and how many kilos. I don't give a shit about that, because I don't even know. If people would ask me how many pull-ups you can do in a row, I never did this, because I'm not into this. I follow a structure of and let's go a little bit off topic. I'm doing the dips plus knee raises, pull-ups plus knee raises on the parallel bars. That's always my basic exercise set. And the rest, you know, like the toes to the bar, the normal straight leg raises, all kind of variations to train your abs, you know, those are extras. But every single day I have this in place. When I do it like this, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. Now I'm doing the 6th time, and then 5, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then I've done the basics, and it takes in general around 20-25 minutes. So if people ask me how many pull-ups I can do in a row, never did this. If you're watching this and maybe you think, yeah, but Alan, why don't you try it? Now, you know what? Because what if? Not what if. Maybe I will do it, but I don't have to prove anything to anybody. And next to that, tomorrow it's again, and the day after. I don't take days off. And a lot of people that take, they talk about rest days and, you know, the counting calories. There's another reason for that. I'm not into kilos, and also I to be very honest, when it's about my own body weight, the last time that I weighed myself was in a gym. That was, I think, last year in the winter one time, and at that time I was 74 kilos. I'm 1.74 m. I was 74 kilos. Okay, but now it's August 2025. I don't know how much I weigh. I also don't count calories. I watch a little bit what I eat. There's a lot of things that I don't eat. Pizzas, burgers, and all that kind of stuff, and all kind of things from the supermarkets that are pre-packaged and I don't know what.